Yo, it's kid, it's the 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 kid. We are live. I have my shameless plug. Don't worry, the mugs will be coming soon. My water, Jaffa cakes, because this might be a long one here. Just position this heater right here. So yeah, man, look, guys. We're just gonna talk. So obviously, we're gonna. Because I don't think we've had like a live Champions League reaction back to back about what has happened during this week in the Champions League. So we're going to be doing that. Again, general thoughts about Chelsea, Man United. Man United obviously having a lot of injuries, some little Twitter discussions happening on Twitter and everything. And we'll then just, and also ask me anything. You know, you're free to talk, discuss. But remember, if you want your question read out 100%, use the super chats. I will do my best just to, if there's anything interesting in the comment section, I may pick something out. But if 100% for sure you want a question read out and you want it to be responded to, use the super chat and I will 100% respond to said question via your super chats. If not, I'll just look through your comments and I'll see what I can pick up. Remember, it's a lot to read through. So just before I really get to this whole Champions League thing, a little discussion has been had about Gerrard and Pogba, you know, and it's even, maybe I'm thinking I may do a Pogba versus Gerrard for football battle. So there's just a little bit of back and forth between Pogba and Gerrard because Pogba has been taking a lot of heat based off, you know, the PSG Man United thing. And we're gonna discuss that. I wanna discuss that game because I think people don't understand football in a central midfield sense. But I will speak more about that when we delve into the game. But again, just to reiterate what I said on Twitter with regards to Gerrard and Pogba, Pogba, I believe, is the better player. Gerrard, for me, was a quality, amazing domestic player. Like, for me, one of the best, greatest Premier League midfielders ever, 100%. I never looked at Gerrard as world-class. I never looked at him as like, oh no, this is an international tier player. Was Gerrard ever considered one of the best players in his position in the world? Or ever potentially one of the best players in the world at his position? I don't think he was. Remember, Gerrard was playing at a time of where Pirlo was about, Xavi was about, Iniesta was about, some of these top dogs. You know, would I put Gerrard in that? Look, I think it was even around the time of Riquelme as well. So I don't really know about that. So again, for me, my whole thing about it is that, you know, you have to take your bias out of it, man. You know, I knew I was missing something. Okay, guys, bear with me because someone just reminded me. I actually wanted just to have my all right, let's see. I'll be back 1 second. So basically, I'm gonna get my iPad, tablet, because I want to watch this. Because I want to just view this whole Bayern Augsburg game. So guys, bear with me. I'll be back. So while I'm back, you tell me, and I'll look in the comment section. Who is better, Gerrard or Pogba? Who is better, Gerrard or Pogba? I'll be back. All right, guys, I is back. The kid is back. I've got my iPad. So let's view and see what's happening here. So for those that say Gerrard, why do you say Gerrard? Remember, not who is more effective, who is the better player. Not who is more effective. Tell me, if you say Gerrard over Pogba, remember, at the best, Gerrard at his best, Pogba at his best, who is the better player? Not who is more effective, who is the better player? That's all I want to know. I mean, look, it's interesting. People's view on this, man, because again, it's because look, Gerrard did trump in very big games, but is there a bigger game than a World Cup final? You know, is there a bigger platform than a World Cup final? That's the thing. You know, so it's a tough one, man. Because my thing about look, Gerrard was amazing, you know, because again, Gerrard was all around tackle, passing everything. But remember, Pogba is young, and that okay. My key thing is this: did anybody at any point in Gerrard's career consider him as potentially being one of the best in the world ever? That's all I want to know. Did anybody ever consider Gerrard as being one of the best in the world ever in his career? That's all I want to know. You know. Okay, look, I mean, I'm just looking at our guys' things, but okay, look, fair enough. So let's look back at Champions League football right now, and let's just really look back at that PSG Man United game. Now, the thing here about this is United got beat. They got beat. Fair and square, they got beat. There is nothing more to say about that. Were Man United to blame for the loss? Did they play badly? That's all I want to know. Did Man United play badly? Like, so because again, like, because people are sort of confused because they feel that because PSG got those goals and they won away from home, Man United were like really bad or something. When you face a better team, what more can you do? Like when you play against a team that's just far more better than you, what more can you do? I've already said that he may smoke, go out, live an unhealthy lifestyle. Verratti is the best midfielder in the world. That's just fine. Verratti is the best midfielder in the world. There is no midfielder who has more talents, more ability all around than Verratti. You know, and he plays the game at an incredible speed. And just like his psychology in the game is amazing. And Verratti just I believe he's better than Modric. He's better than Pogba because I feel Verratti is the best. So when people now view that and say, oh, Pogba ain't that great, Pogba isn't too good, and so forth, do you know how hard it is as a central midfielder to have any kind of impact in a game where the opposition that is better than you is keeping hold of the ball? So when people say, oh my gosh, no, this now proves that Pogba in that great, I'm like, guys, come on, man. Come on. Okay, we all know what Labille is capable of doing. We all know that there are amazing things at this point Labille can do. So to now use that as an example of like, oh, Pogba is not trash. No, because again, remember, for me, Pogba was United's best player. Yeah, he may have gotten sent off, but Thingy was United's best player. But PSG were just playing at a very high level. And when a player operates at a very, very high level, so when a player and a team operates at a very, very high level, it is almost impossible to have any effects of the game as a central midfielder. Trust me, it is flipping impossible. I've been in situations like that before. Anybody who has played, whether in school or any level, if you play central midfielder and you're playing against a better team than you, you as one man can't do it all on your own. If your team is completely out of it, it's very difficult to do it all on your own. So PSG just, they got them. You know, they got by PSG. And you see, the thing with PSG is that, and see now, this is where people are reactionary, because I know some people here are calling me reactionary and everything. Do you know what is reactionary? So people will look at PSG, which was a quality performance, especially in the second half, and then they will then say that, oh, based off that, wait, I think you have a female referee in this Augsburg Bayern game. I think I just know. So, is anybody watching the Augsburg Bayern game? I think there's a female referee. Yo, look, man. Even if you're woke, man, get by double H. What is reactionary is this? You can't look at that PSG Man United game and then say PSG should be one of the favorites to win the Champions League. That is a stupid leap of faith to make. You know, that is an absolutely stupid leap of faith to make, because Man United were never in the conversation of winning the Champions League. PSG are yes, they were expected to. No, look at this. PSG were expected to beat Man United, but I thought United would get this first leg. Overall, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I thought that they would get this first leg, man. But the thing about it is that United betting this United doesn't mean anything. So PSG have not changed whatsoever with regards to beating United, and I just think that PSG do not have enough bodies to win it. Without Neymar, PSG they can't do it. They 100% can do it. Oh, cool. Thank you. So people just told me about the female referee. So super chat here from CFC Anuj said Napoli days Jorginho kept the ball the best. True, he was very good at keeping the ball at Napoli, but I've said many times, the best midfielder at keeping the ball more than any midfielder that I've ever seen in the history of the game was Xavi. There's no player in the history of football that kept the ball better than Xavi. It was incredible. I don't think I ever saw him lose the ball. I never saw him do a misplaced pass ever in any situation. You could give the guy with the ball in any situation, and he would keep the ball. I mean, he was a freak. The guy was a flipping freak. So for PSG, man, it was a big performance by them, and I think because people said that I should have given the man of the match to Marquinhos, and the thing about it is that Marquinhos was good, but I just thought that for me, the guys that really shone for me were Thiago Silva and Verratti. Mbappe just had great clutch moments, but the guys that really shone for me was Thiago Silva and Homeboy. So Tottenham against Dortmund, because again, that's something that we didn't really discuss and get into. 3-0 was not a reflection of the game. It is not. Like 3-0 is not a reflection of the game. And again, this just shows how people don't watch football properly. Sancho had an amazing first half. He didn't have such a great second half. He's 18. So people will now look at how he wasn't really effective in the second half and say, nah, this guy's trash. So you're going to forget the first half and the first 45 minutes that he did, and people will now try and compare Sancho's performance to Rashford's performance. Rashford was Casper the Ghost for 90 minutes. For 90 minutes, Rashford did nothing for 90 minutes. For 45 minutes, Sancho was one of the best players in the team. Sancho was one of the best players in the team Sancho was for me the best player on the pitch for 45 minutes. But then in the other 45 minutes, boom, that didn't happen. And these things happen. But for Dortmund, man, it just shows their inexperience. And I just think that, when you have such inexperience, all right, I think, wait. Let me just read. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Coman just scored, man. Kingsley Coman just scored. It went through the guys. Look, Bayern, they ain't gonna stop, man. They're gonna stop. Wow. So we have a serious game in our hands. But yeah, look, Dortmund, they just showed their inexperience. But guys, I want to talk about Son. Where do you guys rate Son? Because we have to have a real discussion about Heung-min Son. You can't keep coming clutch like this for this amount of time without us having a real discussion. Remember when I called the guy the Best Asian player of all time. I remember Nakata. Didn't Nakamura play in Scotland, in the Scottish League for Celtic? What Park Ji-sung was useful. How good was Park Ji-sung as a player? You know, how good was Park Ji-sung as a player? All right, super chats here from Josh Bond. I actually don't want to read this out, but because it's a super chat, I have to. So Josh Bond, thank you for the super chat, but not thank you for the comments. Son better than Hazard. Again, thank you for the super chat, dear sir. No, he's not. Son is very good. One of the most informed players in the world right now. Hazard is categorically a better player because Hazard can do far more in the attack than Heung-min Son. But let's get back to Son. Let's get back to Son. Son is more dangerous than Harry Kane. Are we now going to deny that? That Heung-min Son is more dangerous than Harry Kane? He simply is. He simply is. He simply is more dangerous than Harry. If I'm a defender, I'm going to be more fearful of a guy who is fast and direct. Ask any defender, what do defenders fear the most is speed. Then be direct. That's why Ronaldo was so scary, because Ronaldo was fast and he was direct. He went straight. A guy who is a bit more tactical, a bit more crafty, holds the ball up and everything, boom, it's different. But a guy who is fast and who is direct, that is a nightmare for guys. You could argue that Son right now is probably Tottenham's most valuable player. Maybe along with Sissoko, with what he's doing, you could argue that this guy is one of his most valuable players. But we have to have a discussion where, as of right now, based on form, where do we rank Son? Could have to have a discussion. Where do we rank Son? Because not literally, but to an extent, he's been carrying Tottenham. Because remember when everybody said, "Oh my gosh, Harry Kane is missing, Dele Alli is missing." That's Ali and Kane. Tottenham are going to struggle. I mean, it's big. Like what this guy has been doing is flipping big. You know, we cannot deny what he's saying. I think a lot of people have also been. I just look at the discussion. People have been saying like, how many teams could Son get into? Son would give either Bernardo Silva or Sane a run for their money, but I don't think Pep would. I think Pep prefers what Sterling and Bernardo Silva does, because Son is very similar to Leroy Sané, and you can see that when everyone is fit, I think Pep prefers Bernardo Silva and Sterling on his flanks. So he could give him a run for his money. Son gets into Liverpool. Are you telling me that Son doesn't get in ahead of a? So based on how Son is playing now, yeah, Son doesn't get in ahead of homeboy Bobby Firmino. Son gets into Chelsea easily. Son gets into Arsenal easily. Son gets into Man United easily. You know, Son in Barcelona. If everyone is fit, probably not. I think you have Suarez, Messi, and your boy the Oos. But if the Oos is injured, he gets in. He gets in ahead of Coutinho. Real Madrid. He probably does. You have Vinicius. You've got your boy Benz. Bale. It's up and down. See, so he probably would. He's getting in ahead of Vasquez. That's for damn sure. And probably in some cases ahead of Bale. Bayern Munich 100%. He gets into Bayern Munich 100%. Juventus. Possibly. So Son gets in ahead into most teams. So how far can Tottenham get in the Champions League? I believe they're through. Quarterfinals. If Tottenham face the winner of, which is what everybody's hoping for, everybody's hoping for the winner of Roma and FC Porto. If they face the winner of Roma, FC Porto, we could see Tottenham in a semi-final. Apart from that, I don't think Tottenham can beat Man City. I don't think they can beat Barcelona. I think they can beat Bayern. And Liverpool, that could go either way. That could go either way. I don't think they'd beat Real Madrid, although that would be a good matchup for them. And which other ones am I missing? What other ones am I missing? They wouldn't beat Juventus. They wouldn't beat Juventus. So, yeah. Let's talk about Real Madrid. Remember, guys, a lot of comments to roll through, so it's hard to pick one out. So if you want your comments to be read out fully for sure, and you want me to read out your comments and respond to your question, use the super chats. Use the super chats, and I'll be able to respond to you 100%. Real Madrid. Remember when I talked about the prospects? I remember when everybody laughed about me about the prospects. They're trending. They're trending. Who are they? Remember when you all laughed? So they may have not have won, but let's talk about the prospects. Okay, no, but before we talk about, first of all, everybody needs to apologize with me about the prospects. VAR. I wanna let's get people's views. Was that right or was that wrong? Should that goal have stood? That's what I want to know. Should that goal have stood based on VAR? Because let's just try and be real. Was he blocking his line of vision? Because that is what the whole thing is about. Was he blocking the dude's line of vision? You know, because my thing about this is that when I looked at the replay, you could see that against him, like, yeah, he blocked it. But the key thing is this. Courtois did not complain. So if Courtois did not complain, he didn't say anything. You know, it's like, so if he didn't complain, who felt the need to say, wait a minute, let's look at that VAR and because look, my thing is this question. Someone at the headquarters, they obviously looking at everything. So if they're looking at that and they say to themselves, wait a minute, if the keeper didn't react, he obviously didn't have any issue with it. So if he didn't have any issue with it, why did the referees feel like, oh no, we have to pull her back and tell homeboys to review the decision? So that's why it keeps tricky with me. But at the end of the day, Real Madrid won, and I think that, look, it's childish for people to now come out and say, oh my gosh, Real Madrid, they cheated. You know, look at all these cheats. They won the game. They won the game. And my whole thing is that if I'm a manager, I'm not one of those coaches that be like, oh my gosh, this goal was disallowed, and we have to be really pissed off by how this goal was disallowed, blah, 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 blah. That's just being cheap. That's just being cheap, man. So I felt that Real Madrid won the game. Ramos had a big, huge game. My Ramos feed is going to drop. Relax, man. Ramos feed is dropping very soon. So just relax. And yeah, man, Real did what they did. I don't believe Ajax can beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Sorry, mistake. They can beat Real Madrid from the Bernabeu. I don't think that they will. I think that Ajax is going to go there and going to have some fun. Even the Ajax manager will say, go out there. You show that you can play these guys. You show that you can really cause these guys issues. We've seen what guys have done at the Bernabeu. Yeah, they're playing a lot better, but we can now go into that game and see what's up. So I think it's going to be very interesting. But for me, looking at the entirety overall and how well and better structured Real Madrid are right now, I feel that Real Madrid, they're through. I think they have it. They 2 away goals, winning the game. I think Ajax will score. I think Real will score more. So let's just look at this super chat here from Rahul KN. Who do you think the best right back in the world is right now? So again, thank you from Rahul KN. Who do I think is the best right back in the world Now, so who do we have as right backs? So who are the top right backs out right now? That's very interesting. We've got Carvajal. We have you see that? See, now the guys are saying it. Did someone just say Azpilicueta? As one of the best in the world? Cancelo is pretty good. You see, the thing with Kimmich is, for me, Kimmich is... How did I know this dude was going to be? I mean, Kimmich is... Let me say this right now. Kimmich is the most versatile... One of the most versatile players in the world. He can play right back, left back, central defense. He can play in the midfield, in the middle, or in the flank. So I'll just say he's just versatile. Right now, I don't think there's anybody better than Dani Carvajal. I don't think there's anybody better than Dani Carvajal. I think Dani Carvajal is no. He's the thing. But Semedo had a phenomenal game. I think it was against Real Madrid. He had a phenomenal game. So if Semedo can keep playing at that high level that I saw of him and can maintain that, I think we need to look at Semedo. I think Semedo, when I looked at him, I think last season before, I was like, yeah, he's okay and everything. But he's not brought in with the defending skills, all skills, ability on the ball. So Semedo is someone where I'm keeping my tabs on him. Is anybody... Yeah, I think that guy even mentioned this. I think Wam Bazamba or something, the guy from Crystal Palace. But let's be real. Is there... Yeah, Wan-Bissaka, thank you. Wan-Bissaka is very good. If you look at his quality, his one-on-ones is very good. But let's be real. On both ends, defensive-wise and offensively, is there anyone better than Dani Carvajal? Like, I mean... I don't think there's anybody better than him. Like, I think Dani Carvajal really is that dude because defensively he's very good, very tough to get past, very diligent, and attacking wise, his crossing is great. A lot of Cristiano's goals, a lot of his goals came from Carvajal. A lot of his goals came from Carvajal. So yeah, thanks for that, bro. That was a nice one. Guys. One of the greatest biscuits of all time. I've been eating this since I was a young kid, man. Jaffa cakes, man. Quality. I think about Jaffa cakes is that we could have another one. Some guys are coming up with some wild names. Absolute wild names. So obviously, huge game, FA Cup. Well, someone also talked about the Champions League games coming up, but Chelsea Man, I think that's happening on Monday. And obviously, the big news is Lingard and Martial won't be playing in that game. Chelsea have no excuses, man. They have no excuses, and especially with homeboy Sarri. I want to talk about Sarri. So first of all, let me just say, Chelsea, a United team without a Lingard or Martial, who are quite crucial. If you lose that game, you're a bunch of losers. So before I want to talk about the Champions League games coming up in next week, Chelsea. Oh, wait. Guys, Tuesday, man. Tuesday is a day. Because they just showed both of the matches that will happen on Tuesday evening. Tuesday, boom. Guys, how lucky are we? how lucky are we that we're having these big games? But my thing with Sarri is this man. He's a strange man. So this guy refuses to put Kante as a DM. He just won't put him as a DM. And that's why you said that I don't want to be rude, but maybe he's stupid. Maybe he's stupid. So he knows that Jorginho isn't good defensively. He knows that this ain't the Syria. You're going to be playing teams who attack with more pace and more ferocity and are far more direct than teams you have in the Syria. So Jorginho will not be in his comfort zone of where he's able to control the game and have the ball and keep the ball. So when you know that you have to now do a lot more defending, and that defense, which ain't great, has this protection, why wouldn't you play Kante then? You know, it makes no sense why you wouldn't play Kante there. It's baffling. And look, Hudson-Odoi should have forced a move. I don't know what more he could have done, but I think he should have done like a Van Dijk or something, where he should have. But I said to myself, what more could he have done? He can't just force Chelsea to sell them. Chelsea can just keep on rejecting until his contract runs out. So all Hudson-Odoi can do is like, look, I'm going to run out my contract. So Chelsea now know that you would be extremely stupid if you allow the guy to run out his contract and then get and sell him for free. So it looks most likely that in the summer they'll be like, boom, you're gone. But I just think how they're treating Hudson-Odoi just shows that Chelsea, I mean, you're a disgusting organization. So because you don't want to lose a player that you're not using, you then play the player a lot to now make him think that you really care about him. Then once that window ends, he now gets consigned to the bench, and you now start playing this trash. I told you so. Sorry. I mean, you're a moron. You're a moron because you're so stubborn and so stuck in your ways. You know, you're being extremely moronic. So let's look at these games happening. As I said again, Schalke Man City should be cancelled. Give me one good reason why that game should go ahead. The one. Give me just one good reason why that game should go ahead. That's all I want to know. Because hold on. It's completely pointless. Because you realize that, I believe, obviously, Schalke play at home first. Do you know that City could beat these guys like 3-0, 4-0? You know? They could beat them 3-0 or 4-0 in that first half. That's wild. That is completely and honestly wild. So it's completely and honestly pointless. So Tuesday, man, always saying Liverpool Bayern, man. Looking at Bayern Munich right now, they're drawing with Augsburg. They're drawing with Augsburg. And they have had to come back from behind twice. So this isn't the most convincing preparation for a Champions League tie against the Champions League finalists. Against the last year's Champions League finalists, if you're drawing 2 against Augsburg. No, so people keep saying like, oh my gosh, Bayern Munich are experienced, they're older, they're Champions League veterans and so forth. That doesn't mean anything. It's only people's use of experience is exceedingly overrated. It's exceedingly overrated. You know, I just think that people, I mean, come on, bro. It's you know, like nah. It is very, very overrated how people insist on this whole thing of like, oh my gosh, these guys are older, they're experienced, they've been there, they've done the. Who cares? It's about what you do in 2019. How good are Bayern Munich in 2019 right now? In February 2019, how good are they right now? By the way, let's say there's some shocking comments in this comment section right now. Like, I don't even want to address any of them, So it just shows that people are being trolls. They want to try and piss me off, or this one, because some opinions that people have are just stupid. So I expect Liverpool to win. And if Liverpool don't convincingly beat them, then they're screwed. Because I think Liverpool should look to get to win that by 2 clear goals. If they win like 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, that's a bad result. That would be a bad result, because Liverpool should easily, comfortably beat them. But, and I will speak on this on my preview, no Van Dijk, that's a problem. No Van Dijk, that's a problem. I don't think it will be that huge of an issue, but if you're Niko Kovac and you're preparing, you're like, these guys don't have Van Dijk, and Van Dijk has been Liverpool's most valuable player, 100%. Without a shadow of a doubt, Liverpool's most valuable player has been Van Dijk. So to lose your most valuable player in the first leg, that's huge. Although, if you were to ask me, where would you rather have Van Dijk, for the home tie or the away tie? 100%, I'd rather have Van Dijk for the away tie, 100%. So yeah, with regards to Lyon, Barcelona, are we sleeping on Lyon? I don't want to disrespect Messi. I do not want to disrespect Messi at all. Are we sleeping on Lyon? Are we saying that Lyon can't do anything? So, I mean, Barcelona should win. They should take them out. But I believe that it's going to be a lot more difficult for Barcelona. It's not going to be a straightforward game for them. Because remember, I've been watching Barcelona a lot this season. And look, last game, they drew with Bilbao. Okay? They drew 0-0 with flipping Bilbao. So, it's going to be, I don't know, let's say Lyon should feel confident. Because the best way to go into a game is when you're the underdogs, especially when you're playing against such a big, huge team. If you just go in there as underdogs, it's going to be you play a lot more freely. And I look at some of Lyon's key guys that they have in their team, some of the speed that they can play with, and PK being half a brick. There's the chance for Lyon to do something. But look, Barcelona have Messi, man, and I think when you have Messi, it's pretty much a wrap, man. When you have Lionel Richie, I mean, it's pretty much a wrap. Atletico Juventus, man, guys, I don't know why people are even hyped for that game. It's not as much. Oh damn! Wow, that was a G by Alaba, man. I mean, it's not as much of a so basically, if we compare it to the Schalke game, that is way more of a foregone conclusion. But I don't see a scenario that Atletico can beat Juventus over 2 legs, especially with Morata as a striker. I do not see any scenario where Atletico win this. I believe that for Juventus, it will almost be a straightforward game. Yeah, it's going to be a bit tough, a bit tight, but I just think Juventus will just do what was needed and they'll get the goals. They'll get the goals. Like, I think for me, I'm still not sure what the score will be in the first leg, being in Atletico, but I mean, I'll think about it. But Atletico, what's it called? Juventus are going to Atletico won't in the first leg. It's either going to be a draw or a Juve win. I mean, Atletico some respect, but I'm actually leaning towards Juventus actually winning the first leg. So, because I think guys just have to say, look, they're not the same team. You know, Atletico just aren't that same team. You know, they're not. You know, they're not. I mean, they're just not the same force they were back in 2014. If you give me the 2014 Atletico, then we can ride. You know, if you give me the 2014 Atletico, then we can ride. But if not, nah, man. So look, man. But with regards to even the Europa League, Arsenal, man, wow. This Ozil thing is interesting, and I still, because again, I think as I mentioned to guys, because I was when we recorded Heung-min's banter. Again, I'm sure you would have watched the episode. If not, watch the episode after this. Claude was there, so Claude was featuring. I think, and just say, guys, I've met a lot of these influencers, many of them, and by far, the nicest of these real popular influencers I've ever met is Claude. It is shocking how nice and how approachable this guy is. Because remember, this Claude is arguably one of the most famous online personalities. You know, so who we've known and we've loved his rants for years. And just as little half of that does the whole thing. Just how easily he was able to talk to, how we were having discussions, and just was really engaging with me. And I'm like, my gosh, man, it's like, and I think about it because Claude is old school. Like, if he's a 20-something-year-old who's big and famous, he'd be like, oh, sorry, I'm a big man. Who are you? I'm this. But for Claude, man, this guy is old school. You know, a lot older. He's from a whole different kind of generation. I think about Claude he is a real Arsenal fan. I mean, the guy really cares about Arsenal. So this isn't a thing for views and for this and that. And he even said to me that he has like I think he has like 17,000 subscribers, and he hardly even posts. I said that, man, look, how the hell do I have 17,000 subscribers on YouTube and I don't post? And I was saying to him that, Claude, I don't think you realize how popular you are and how famous you are. I don't think he realizes just how popular he is. For him, he's like, no, I'm just an Arsenal fan who just loves my club. But yeah, because I remember Claude was saying to me, because as we're watching the Tottenham game, he said that, no, because it was getting like, you know, Bati Borisov said, no. Well, why is he going to beat Bati Borisov? I said, and I think it was Dev or someone said, what if you don't beat Bati Borisov? And he was like, nah, no chance, no way, man. No, like, so he was so sure. Arsenal, man, wow. See, the hashtag Emery out is, since now, that's going a bit too far. This is only his first season, and you can't deny the amazing unbeaten run they were on. So, no, I mean, I watched the first half because I was in the office and I had to leave the office. So obviously, I then saw when Bati Borisov scored. Arsenal were crap. So I don't know how well they did in the second half, but in that first half, they were horrible. What is going on with Ozil? Because my thing with Ozil is I've always said that, so like, Ozil is not as good as people think he is. I think he's slightly overrated, but even if I think he's overrated, I mean, as much as I think that he's overrated, he's still a very good player, and his footballing brain is amazing. He's got one of the best footballing brains out there. But the issue is, not every team, not every game will allow you or give you the freedom to, and the space and the time to fully implement your footballing brain. which is why I look at that game against Bate Borisov. Why wasn't he playing? Like, that match against Bate Borisov was the perfect game in which to use Özil. You have most of the you have most of the possession. You're holding a lot of the possession of the ball. That's the perfect thing for Özil to be able to implement. I'm giving time like, oh wow, you don't play Özil in a game against a Man City or even against a Chelsea or something. A team where a game in which it's going to be tough, very very physical, where you will not have the ball. But against a Bate Borisov, where you know that he's going to be given time. You know that he's going to be given time. That is the game in which you play him. So it's weird. I mean, Emery, I get that you may not want him in your team, that you don't have plans for him in your team, but you have to win games. And if you've got injuries, you don't have many players, sometimes you've got to dip into a player who you may not want. And judging from Ozil's tweets and his posts on social media, he doesn't have any beef. It's just like if he doesn't want to play for Arsenal. It's just like he's simply not getting. Well, simply not getting picked. By the way, I think Thomas Muller is done. You know, I won't go as far as to say that he should just retire, but I just think as a player, I think Thomas Muller he might be done. You know, as a player, he might be done as a player. So yeah, man, I think the whole Arsenal also thing is crazy, and I think someone mentioned Icardi as well. If Inter Milan lose Icardi, this whole project goes back 3, 4, 5 years, man. Like, if they lose Icardi, they're done. Like, you can say completely goodbye and everything to you making any kind of headway towards doing anything in the Serie A. Because really, let's be real, based on the amount of money that Inter Milan have spent and so forth, they should be the ones challenging Juventus, not Napoli. Napoli, who they have now? Napoli, but Napoli have no right to be the team who are closest to Juventus based on the kind of players Inter Milan have and the amount of money that Inter Milan have spent. So you can blame Spalletti, you can blame the players underperforming. It is what it is. But yeah, it's great. So Icardi obviously being stripped of the captaincy, and this is the whole thing. So Icardi's wife, are you like his manager or something? And this is why the whole thing. Because look, man, I mean, because she seems to be talking a lot. So my whole thing is that okay, look, how can I say this in the nicest way possible? Because we are living in the #MeToo era. So anything I do say might actually be held against. Oh, hey, Ribery! Wow, I've not seen him in a while. Is it wise to make your wife your agent? That's the thing. Is it wise to make? I mean, that's my whole thing. Is like, first of all, that's the key thing here. Is does she have? Oh man, how did he miss that? Does she have the quality? Does she have qualifications to be an agent? You know, it's like that's the thing about it. I'm not sure whether like it's I mean, like, it's good to, I mean, if you've got the qualifications to be an agent, it's cool and everything. But this is why I think that Raiola is not a good agent. Like, the worst agents are those that just keep on talking and talking and talking, and they just get you into trouble. That's what happens. So Raiola put in one day here as well. Shut up, man. Because these agents that just keep on talking and talking and talking, you're making yourself the center of attention. And by doing that, you're harming your clients. Because trust me, if I'm a manager and all I hear is your agent talking, so I can't even talk to you, I'm going to talk to your agent. And your agent is saying all of this stuff in social media, and it pretty much putting a negative image on my team and potentially messing with the atmosphere in my team. I'm like, yo, what the hell? That may be one of the, well, look, Pep was never going to, I mean, Yaya was never in Pep's plans. So, but, well, I mean, reality they help, man. But as I said again, if Icardi is leaving Inter Milan, wow, that is definitely that's definitely interesting. That's definitely interesting, and because good save. The guy is an amazing finisher, and in a world where it is very difficult to find top strikers, getting it. I mean, if Juventus got Icardi, that would be huge. Watching Icardi and Cristiano, Icardi could completely change Man United. Real Madrid, Benzema is scoring now. Because I was about to start if Real Madrid gets Icardi, because Benzema is scoring. So could Icardi fit in Real Madrid? For me, Barcelona, because if Atletico got Icardi, massive. Because as of right now in 2019, I'm saying Icardi is much more of a cold-blooded finisher than your boy Costa. Because if Icardi was to go to Chelsea, imagine Hazard providing for your boy Icardi. Because let's just go get real. Higuain in 2019 is not relevant. Okay, Higuain in 2019 is not a relevant dude. And for me, I just feel that as far as clutch finishing, I'm rolling with Icardi. So, because do you know how hard it is to score 29 goals in the Serie A if you don't play for Juventus? Because yeah, Cristiano may score 20, 30, 30 goals. Give a shout out to what Higuain did for Napoli and what Icardi did and what Immobile did. I mean, what Immobile did is even much more crazy for the team that he played against. So to score those amount of goals, that is completely and utterly madness. But yeah, a lot of teams, man, if Icardi does pretty much decide that he wants to leave this summer and Inter Milan are ready to sell, which would be stupid, by the way, but if they're ready to sell, 100 is worth it. In today's market, 120. Like in today's market, 120, it's worth it. It's completely not worth it. So what do you, because again, I read up this news article. What do you guys think about this whole thing of Courtois saying that he's advising his buddy, his friend Hazard, to join Chelsea? Is that bad of Courtois to do that? Because I see no issue with Hazard wanting to reunite with his friend. You know, like, you know, is that, because remember, Hazard, you're a big boy, you make the decision yourself. So why are people sort of like so thinking about it? Like, look, if I want my friends to play at the club with me, why not? Guys. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow, man, big day tomorrow night. Nigeria decides the national elections are happening in Nigeria, man. Huge, massive. So it's a huge thing. So yeah, man. hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully it's peaceful and there's no violence. But yeah, man, it's Nigeria have come a long way. Because remember when I was growing up in Nigeria, man, it wasn't a democracy, because I grew up at a time where it was a full-on dictatorship. So to see, so to see how a country has come from having, like, from coups, military dictatorship, shocking abuse of human rights, and so forth, to now where people, and I think that, and that's the issue that's what happening in Nigeria, is that you have a guy like Buhari, who he's old school. This guy has not had a television debate. This guy has refused to debate the main front runner at Atiku, because he still thinks as an authoritarian. He still thinks as a dictator. But the world is different. It's 2019 right now. We now have younger people. The internet is now booming right now in Nigeria. And now it's like, I just don't think that this world in 2019 is really right for people like your boy Buhari. It's very much flourishing, man. It's just not happening for the dude, man. Yeah, President, look, I don't think I'd make that great a president, because I would be quite emotive, and also I don't really. Ooh, damn, hit the bar. I have a zero tolerance for fools, man. That's the thing. So, what do you think about this whole Trump national emergency thing? Actually, Trump, man, that dude, man. Because my thing is this. So, if he builds the wall, which of course is just a wall for his legacy, let's just say he builds the wall, and somehow, some way, some high-tech Mexicans manage to find a way to penetrate that wall, then what? That's my shocking thing. Like, what if what if someone finds a way to actually see him and actually penetrates the wall? So, I mean, look, it's madness, man. You know what? Oh, so you guys do need the wall. Interesting. So, Cristiano, I think that dude could, because again, one moment just said Cristiano scored. Yeah, look, if there's anybody that could break Higuain's goal scoring record, I think it's Cristiano. I think he's the one dude who I believe could break the, because like with the rates that he's going now, the team that he's playing in, boom. And the thing, you know what I said about Cristiano is that, look, it's still going to be an amazing achievement if he comes. Because again, it won't be an achievement him winning this year. That's nothing. If he wins either the Champions League with Juventus, or he breaks the goal scoring record for Juventus, I think that's in itself will be huge. So yeah, super chat here again from Josh Bond says Chelsea wish they had a wall against City. Bro, if I think Chelsea needed about 2 or 3 walls, the way that Man City were playing, they needed at least 2 or 3 walls. But I think Chelsea, they didn't need a wall. They just needed to learn how to flip it. They just needed to learn how to defend and play Kante in DM. It's as simple as that. Play Kante in DM. It's as simple as that. But look, people always talk about how I'm this Cristiano hater and so forth and everything. My thing is simple: I'm not going to give you credit for winning the Serie A with Juventus. I'm not. I'm not going to give you credit for winning a title that the team has won 7 times in a row. If you break the goal scoring record, that's a great achievement. 100%, I'll give you credit for that. If you help to spearhead and lead them to a Champions League win, that will be huge. But you were not on the pitch for the Euro final. That's big. You were not on the pitch for the Euro final. You were not there. You helped facilitate the Euro win. You were not on the flipping pitch. Yet score a goal in a World Cup knockout game. And you can't be a GOAT without a World Cup. That's stupid. Like anybody that thinks that you're completely stupid. How can you be considered a GOAT, one of the greats, without winning the greatest competition? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how people rationalize that and guys with picture with the GOATs and everything. How can you be a GOAT without winning the greatest competition? The World Cup is the greatest competition. And Cristiano, you played for a team that's were the Euro defending champions, Portugal. Messi and Argentina have won the World Cup twice and have been World Cup beaten finalists twice. So you play for teams that are capable of winning a World Cup. Again, you're not Swedish. You're not Icelandic where, okay, look, man, okay, Ibrahimovic, okay, cool. Just give me a Champions. Because again, that is what is always going to be a stain on Ibra's legacy is you never won the Champions League. Because if Ibra won the Champions League, I think we'd have to call him one of the greats. Because we've got to copy him a play because he's Swedish. We have to. Because again, it's impossible for him to win for Sweden. But I am not copying any plays whatsoever for Messi Cristiano. So it doesn't matter what they achieve. It doesn't matter how many Champions Leagues they win. It doesn't matter how many leagues has to win. It doesn't matter how many Ballon d'Ors they win. If they do not have a if they don't have a World Cup, don't come into the greatest. And I think people need to really appreciate what Maradona did for Napoli. Like, that achievement that Maradona had for Napoli is greater than anything that I think Cristiano or Messi has done. Because that is an absolutely outstanding achievement. Absolutely outstanding. You see, my thing about it is this, is that, remember guys, lots of comments. If there's a question you desperately want to ask, use a super chat. Use the super chat if you desperately want me to answer a question, and I will answer it. So what was I going to say? Gosh, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, that was it. Messi is one of the best players that we've ever seen, which is very, 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 very different. Okay, as in Messi is just one of the best players that we've ever seen, but that is different from being one of the greatest. The greatest and best are two different things. Messi is one of the best players we've ever seen. A great is something far more. Something far more. So Josh Bourne, super chats. Thank you, bro. Giroud, the GOAT. If Giroud is the GOAT of the Scorpion Kick, 100%. As far as the GOATs in football, unfortunately, I'll have to say no. Giroud is not the GOAT. And last time I checked, so it may have changed now, but the last time I checked, I don't think a brick can be a GOAT. That's just me. You know, I don't think a brick 100% can be a GOAT, man. People say GOATs of beers, man. That is interesting. But look, as I said again, the closest that we have to a horseman is Mbappe. He's the closest that we ever have to a horseman. So Mbappe, I mean, if Mbappe can get a Champions League, man, like PSG are not winning the Champions League this season. That's not happening. No way, it's impossible. No way, it's not happening. If further down the line, whether for PSG or for Real Madrid, Mbappe can win a Champions League title, World Cup, Champions League. Okay, another super chat here from Spacely. From Spacely, will you ever collab with Nini again? And will you go on Cheeky Sports podcast? I'm definitely trying to do a collab with Nini for sure. Like, look, great guy, you know, met him, really, really cool guy. And yeah, I definitely will want to chop it up with him again. I really go in depth into some of that Chelsea thing with him. will you ever go on Cheeky Sports podcast? Again, if they would have me on, I'll be more than happy to go on their podcast, but I just don't know them. So again, I mean, if people can put in a good word for me and say, "You get your boy H in there," I'll be, because again, I do watch some of their stuff, and yeah, they are very funny. We did like a vid with one of their guys. I think it's Jermaine, the Ghanaian guy, about the top African players in the Premier League. And yeah, that was really, really cool doing that stuff with him. So yeah, hopefully I can do some work with Nini very soon, because he's a great guy. For me, he's the best. He's the best Chelsea analyst out there, 100%. I mean, the detail he goes into stuff is insane. He's the best, and he keeps on growing, so he deserves all the views that he gets. He's not a stripper like some. Not naming any names. And will you? Yeah, again, I'm for Cheeky Sports Podcast. I hope so. I hope to go onto the Cheeky Sports Podcast very soon. That would be swell. That would be swell, guys, man. I'm getting depressed. Brutal. I'm getting depressed with Robin, man. I'm getting real depressed with Robin, man. I need him to play. I need Robin out there. Because look, this is, I mean, so do you know how simple it is? So this is the final season of a potential GOAT. Some would say that already, but this is the final season of a potential GOAT, and you can't even give him a first leg. Because you know, listen, Robin is a special player, a very special player, and oh wow, and I am saddened by people who don't recognize just how special this dude is. So, look, guys, I told you, I am not saying any names, because if I say any names, I'm going to be put in trouble. All I'm saying is I am not watching anything where I cannot watch football analysis from a stripper. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm not watching any football analysis from a stripper. Oh, well, I'm good. I mean, no offense, but that's just my preference. I don't believe that a stripper can tell me anything informative about football. That's what I'm saying. Another super chat here from the Armchair Critic. Thank you very much for your super chat. Consistency or longevity, not a criteria for being a horseman. Even Ferguson said Messi is greater than Maradona. Also, Maradona cheated at the World Cup. I get what you're saying. But it's how I view things. Because that is a very strong argument. As in, if you're consistent over such a long period of time, that has to go into being a great. But for me, I feel that degree of difficulty is key. Like what Cristiano and Messi have done is something that you should say, you know what, that's an amazing achievement in this special box of like, wow, which other player in history were consistent for a decade and even more, because they're still balling out. So that's just an amazing thing. So when they're done, like, man, these guys are special. These two guys were playing at a very consistent level for the best part of a decade. But my whole thing is degree of difficulty. You succeeding during a difficult scenario is what makes you a great. Ronaldo's career should have ended after he had the knee injury. That was a career-threatening injury, and he wasn't the same player after then. So the way that he was able to react to that was simply amazing. What Zidane did coming out of retirement at that 2006 World Cup is amazing. What Maradona did for Napoli is simply amazing. What Pele did as a teenager and what he did 12 years later on is simply amazing. How Beckenbauer revolutionized and totally changed how we saw defenders, completely influencing defenders afterwards, and what he did as a player and as a manager, both for Bayern Munich and for Germany, revolutionary. And that's what makes him a great. So it's, again, degree of difficulty. See, the Beckenbauer thing is, I think Beckenbauer is arguably the greatest figure in football based on what he did as a player and as a manager. So he's arguably the greatest football in football. So that's why his thing is separate, but he has to be a horseman based on just what he did both as a player and as a manager. As no one else has achieved what he achieved as a player and as a manager, which is insane when you actually look at it. But again, for me, the consistency and longevity thing is cool. Messi, you played for Barcelona. It is Barcelona. Oh, that's a good cross. Cristiano, you played for Man United under Ferguson. Real Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Juventus, another one of the biggest clubs in the world. What Maradona did for Napoli, my lord. What Pele did as a teenager, my lord. What Zidane did coming out of retirement, my lord. What Beckenbauer did as a player and as a manager, my goodness. Those achievements, in my view, are greater than what Messi and Cristiano have done. So that's my 2 cents on the matter there. So, man, what are these guys doing? Putting the strings. I actually do. Wait, let me just see. I can't even click on guys' names. So who actually want come in? Because I'm going to be doing these a lot more. So I'm probably going to be doing these twice a week, like on a Monday and on a Friday. So I need to know who wants to be I'm actually going to pick some guys to be moderators. All right, so another super chat here from Armchair Critic. Maradona or Pele? Also current favorite players. That's a tough one. Maradona or Pele? Oh, that's it. Yeah, no. Next time I'll bring it again. I want to get rid of it. This thing is. Yo, dude, can you stop spamming this whole thing? So Maradona or Pele? I believe that Pele may be greater based on his achievements, the goals that he scored, and what he did as a teenager. So, yo, James Larry, thanks for the super chat. It can I be a moderator? I'll think about it. I just need to just decide and look at who's around. But I'm still learning in my ropes of this YouTube live. But James Larry, I will definitely put in consideration. So that's the Armchair Critic. Pele may be greater, but I think as far as the I think Maradona is the best player that we've ever seen. Okay, oh gosh, it's weird. Maradona is greater, I feel, as a footballer. Pele is greater in terms of achievements. That's what I think. Your Fortune, I will look into it as you being a moderator because you have been asking a lot. So yeah, achievements, Pele playing Maradona, because I mean Maradona. I think Maradona was the better footballer than Pele, 100%. As a footballer is better. Current favorites players right now, still Marcelo, the Us, Verratti. I'm going to say Sergio Ramos. Like I think Ramos right now. Yeah, we're going to look at Ramos, and yeah, I think those are the ones there. See, the thing about this thing here is that I can't even click on dudes to actually, because everything is happening so quickly. Wow, I can't even. And this thing is a freaking brick, man. So basically, I have this live. So YouTube, man, can you please show this? So I have a live chat here thing with buttons, and I can't press any of the buttons. You know, which is just weird, man. Yeah, as I say, look, I am trying to kick that Marcelino guy out, man. But what I always say to spammers is like, So you really have nothing better to do in your life than just spam a chat room, which is just crazy, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? But yeah, but look, I think thing with Pele is that we didn't see him play. We didn't see him play because almost every player that gets interviewed, and whenever they talk about Pele, they say that Pele is the greatest player that they've ever seen. Every single player who played during Pele's time, including Beckenbauer, one of the best defenders we've ever seen, always said, "Nah, Pele was one of the best players that they'd ever seen." So, what did I say? Like, it's just hard for me because if I didn't see the dude, it's hard for me to now judge him. And there's not that much footage on him, but there's far more footage of Maradona. So who knows, man? So that's why, like, are we not going to say that every single player who played with Pele is lying? Because I'm telling you, every single player they interviewed who played with Pele said, "Nah, greatest player that I've ever played against. Like, there's like no one even comes close." So maybe that means something. Maybe that means something, you know. I don't know. Maybe that means something. So why can't I click anything? It's weird, man. So yeah, no. But but what I don't like is, like, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. But that's why, same thing with Maradona and Messi. I think Messi definitely has more to his game than Maradona. But if I'm picking a team and I'm looking for someone to come clutch, I'm going with Maradona. Like, in a World Cup final, Champions League final, in like a huge, massive game, winner take it all, I'm taking Maradona all day over Messi, because I think the weakest part of Messi's game is he has no character. Like, he's amazingly talented, one of the most talented players we've ever seen. He doesn't have character, you know. Like, Maradona was playing on bumpy pitches, getting kicked, getting hacked, fully muddy, being thrown around, but he was tough. He had character. Messi would not survive in the 80s or the 90s. No way. There's no way that Messi would survive. He'd be injured. He'd be injured. Like, he'd get kicked at the game. Like, Messi would find it impossible to survive back in those days, because back in those days you got kicked. That's how Pele wasn't in the 1962 World Cup. So, and the reason why he was there, because he got kicked out of the game. So people need to just, so when people are very quick to dismiss Maradona because of the hand of God and this thing and everything, people need to really pause and just appreciate where he was playing and the period that he was playing in, because that is a very, very important thing, you know. Because if you look at the period that he was playing in and how difficult it was going to be tough. But just think, you know, for Messi, man, you had your shot, bro. 2014 was your shot, and he flipped. Like, you're never going to have a better chance to win the World Cup then. And I mean, the Copa America is a whole different point of work. So you had two opportunities to win a Copa America. 2 chances. And they messed up. So yeah, so that is the end of this Bayern game. 3-2 to Bayern against Augsburg. Guys, it's been swell. It's been good. I am going to try and get some moderators up in here going into this whole thing, man, because I think some moderators are needed here, man. So yeah, man, it has been swell. So just to look out for Monday, huge game, Chelsea, Man U, FA Cup. And yeah, we ride, we go, and we continue. Peace out. Stay true. Oh my gosh. Actually, they scored from the kickoff. Wow, I didn't even see that. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace out. Peace out.